adventurers, and welcome back. It's time again for us to have one of our visits back to maker history. And there's a reason why I'm in my time machine today, because this particular item just fits with that sort of steampunk time traveler persona. And I'm talking about this. That's my time traveler wristband. Now this piece is actually made up of several different projects, scraps from several different projects. This tan leather here is a nice thick and smooth leather. This is very old. I got this from a thrift store years ago that I took it apart and used it for different projects. I've used segments of it here. I kind of like this, almost this rainbow or sort of radial pattern that I've made with them. I also have some little gears here because it just makes it look more like a machine, and gears are easy enough to come by. These two are actually stitched on. All this is hand stitched with just a leather awl and some brown floss. This little detail here, very kind of fun and antique-y looking. This actually is left from a cape that I bought at a Renaissance fair years and years ago. Unfortunately, the other half of the clasp broke. So I was left with this, but I just stitched this on, and then I did buy this little compass piece here. These little circles that you can basically screw on to a leather project. These are called conches. You can buy that from a leather supply store. I also bought these rivets from a leather supply store, as is exemplified by my straps here that hold it together. These also are scraps of leather from other items. I put some holes in here, partially so that I could get some air in here, but also partially just for some interesting detail. Part of designing a project like this is looking at the pieces that you have, laying them out and arranging them. Sometimes I'll actually cut out shapes out of cardboard and lay them down and see how it looks before I start cutting the leather. I also have a black calfskin liner in there that I've put in. That's from another project that I was working on. I got interested in the steampunk aesthetic probably about 8 years ago. And a really interesting thing about steampunk is that it's this combination of old-fashioned detailing and sort of soft romantic materials, but at the same time you're taking it somewhere else. You're talking about creativity and ingenuity, and I really like that. I definitely feel like somebody who likes to take old things and make them into something new. And if you ever get a chance to go to a steampunk event, there's so much of that going around. I mean, I have seen people at steampunk events with the gloves, the metal gauntlets or whatever, which are beautiful, but I didn't have those kinds of materials, and honestly, I don't like to accessorize so much anymore. I do play a pirate character, I do play a steampunk character. Lots of these characters you can put lots and lots of different straps and buckles and belts and weapons and vests and armor and stuff. So I'm kind of trying to bring down some of that. I would rather have 2 or 3 really interesting items and then the rest of it be light, airy cottons and things like that, so I could be comfortable but interesting at the same time. Don't you think? When I was a kid, I saw a movie on television. It was an old black and white 1940s science fiction adventure called The Vanishing Shadow. Take a look and see if you could find it anywhere. Google it. It was really interesting to me as a kid. It was this sort of detective guy who had a metal vest with all these gears and things on. I don't even remember where he got this, but he could set it to make himself invisible. And I just thought that was so cool to have this machine that gives you powers and you could take it off and hide it or whatever. But the bad guys can also take it away from you, and that adds interest because then you have no powers and you've got to get that back. to finish the mystery, to finish the adventure and save your friends. And that, I feel like, just adds one more step of difficulty. And every character, no matter how amazing, how powerful they are, they need a weakness. They need something that puts them into peril, or else the story's just kind of flat, isn't it? Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed looking at this wristband. I would like to see if it inspires anything from you. I really encourage you to put some things down in the comments, questions or some of your own projects. I'm just really interested in what you guys are doing. And, as I always say, like, share, and subscribe. This is important because YouTube wants to know how many people are watching my show. So I need you to subscribe to show YouTube that this show means something to you. And if you share it with your friends, maybe they can get inspired to do something too. I want to build this community and I really could use your help. Let's keep doing this, let's have a lot of fun, and as I always say, make every day an adventure. I hope you'll be back next week. I've got another cool project, of course, and I'm very excited about it. So, until next time, see you later.